Spring 1561. The Battle of Huajie was over. The pirates shattered. The city saved. But far from retreating to the sea, the survivors vanished into shadow. Across the hills of Zhejiang, hidden messengers carried a single order: gather. They would not meet Qi Jiguang in the open field. This time, they would choose the ground. High at Shangfeng Ridge, where the cliffs close like jaws, they prepared the perfect trap, the gorge narrow enough for muskets to scythe through men like wheat. And they waited, certain that Chief's army would march straight into their teeth.
Zhejiang did not fall. On the very night the alarm came, Qi Jiguang marched through the dark, intercepting the 3,000-strong Wokou column before it reached the city walls. A short, brutal clash scattered them into the hills, but peace did not follow. The Wokou, though beaten, were not broken. Across the southeastern coast from Huajie to Sanmen Bay, new pirate bands landed under cover of mist. They came in smaller waves now, faster, looser, harder to track. They burned villages by night. They vanished by dawn. Qi Jiguang did not rest. He split his army into detachments, sweeping the coastline day and night. At Huajie, they stopped a raid in mid-attack. At Linhai, they blocked a landing before the ships could drop anchor. At Sanmen, a scout force lured a pirate group into the hills and crushed them with Tiger Squad cannons. But with every skirmish came new tactics from the enemy. These Wokou no longer charged headlong. They learned to retreat, regroup, and bait. The coast, once their hunting ground, was now ringed with Qi's defenses. So they sought another kind of kill, one deep inland where they could trap the pursuers. After the defeat at Huajie, of the 3,000 Wokou who fought there, about 1,000 were killed. The rest either fled back to the sea or slipped into the mountains of Taizhou. Those who escaped by sea sought a chance to strike again from offshore. Those who vanished into the hills relied on the terrain, searching for a new hunting ground. Soon these scattered remnants regrouped in hidden valleys and forests, forming a force of nearly 3,000 once more. The last sizable Wokou army left on the coast of Zhejiang. They no longer dared to land in mass formations along the shore, but in the shadows they prepared for one final desperate strike. Their chosen stage was Shangfeng Ridge, a narrow gorge locked between steep cliffs and walled in by thick forest. Here they would set their trap and wait for the Qi family army to come. In secret, their leaders conspired. The scar-faced veteran growled,
"Chief's army is not human, they're iron demons. We cannot face them directly."
Beside him, a wiry man with narrow eyes leaned closer and whispered,
"Then we won't. We'll feign retreat. Lure them to Eagles, Sorrow Gorge. Trap them in tight ground. Hit them with muskets. Use triple-volley fire and finish them off."
Triple-volley fire, a Japanese gunnery tactic using rotating ranks to maintain constant shooting. Back at the Qi army camp, Qi Jiguang's gaze pinned the map like a hawk. He pointed to several coastal bays and mountain passes, his voice low but firm.
"The Wokou will move within 2 days. Their supply lines from the sea are cut, and in the mountains their grain is running low. The longer they wait, the more disorder will fester in their own ranks. Their route will take them through Shangfeng Ridge. It's the only pass large enough for a main force to reach the Taizhou heartland. The rest is impassable mountain. They will feign retreat and set an ambush in the gorge. It's their only chance to turn defeat into victory. The choke point is perfect for their arquebuses, and the narrow ground gives them cover to withdraw if the fight turns."
He gave the order.
"The ridge is bare. Send a battalion to cut fresh pine branches, dense, 5 feet long."
Deputy General Lu Nan blinked.
"Pine branches, General? Shangfeng is as bold as a monk."
Chief lifted a sprig of green pine, spread its needles.
"This is our camouflage. This is our shield. This is how we kill their muskets."
The counter-ambush plan. Climbing teams would scale both sides of the ridge before midnight. Pine branches would be planted to simulate bushes. Musketeers would hide within, aiming at the narrow gorge, precisely 80 paces away, perfect killing range. Firepower ambush. 10 Franco cannons were deployed on the western slope. Preloaded barrels ensured rapid volleys toward the choke point. Encirclement and assault. 2 strike teams waited in the forest below, one armed with wolf brush and spears to block retreat. The other, led by Qi Jin, would descend from the east cliff with tiger squat cannons, striking the pirate command. 2 nights later, under a moonless sky, the Wokou force slipped out of their camp. Scouts returned.
Chief's camp is dark, no fires, no movement. They must be asleep.
The pirates smirked. They had no idea Qi was already waiting. Qi raised his command flag in the dark.
They've moved. Armor up. Take the pine branches. Reach Shangfeng Ridge by the 3rd watch.
His troops moved like ghosts. By midnight, the barren ridge was covered in fake greenery. But inside each bush waited a musket.
Their guns fire 50 paces.
One soldier whispered.
Ours hit at 80, and pierce armor.
This pinewood musket line, the general is a genius.
The Wokou entered the gorge in a long, slow column. Front line, elite arquebusiers. Middle, kidnapped civilians forced as human shields. Rear, looters with stolen goods. At the choke point, 10 Franco cannons stood silent, aimed. As the front line stepped into range, Qi Jiguang raised his flag.
Prepare to fire.
Trigger fingers tightened. Then one enemy officer squinted up at the hill.
Why is there metal glinting up there?
In that instant, Qi hurled a torch skyward. Ten cannons roared, hurling grape shot into the pirate rear. Crates shattered. Men flew. Screams tore the night. Second volley. Straight into the center. Civilians scattered. The cannon range had been set to miss the front line and save the innocent. Then, 300 Qi musketeers rose from the pine brush. First volley slaughtered the gunners. Second volley picked off officers. Third volley cut down the panicked survivors. Qi raised his flag again.
Mandarin duck formation. Advance.
From the woods below, Qi's forces surged. Wolf brush tangled and trapped. Spears struck with precision. Short blade teams rescued hostages and cleared a path. The Wokou tried to break west, but ran straight into the ambush wall. In desperation, they lit crude grenades, Bo Luo Yu, and hurled them. Shrapnel and gas. But Qi's shieldmen had already formed walls. They held unbroken. A pirate commander charged Qi. Qi sidestepped, blocked, and slashed him in 2. On the east cliff, Qi Jin's team slid down on ropes, tiger squat cannons ready.
Fire thunder shot.
A cannon roared, destroying the final Wokou gunnery unit. Dawn broke. The air was still. Smoke drifted. Deputy General, bloodied, knelt.
Report. 379 enemy heads taken. The rest fled. 800 civilians rescued. Our losses, 3 dead, 21 wounded.
Chief Jiguang nodded.
Heal the people. For the fallen coffins made from pine branches. Send them home.
On the road back to Taizhou, villagers lined the path for 20 li, kneeling with incense. An old woman wept, pressing hot cakes into a soldier's hand.
Qi, please, eat something.
Qi, Master Qi, was how the people affectionately addressed Qi's men, as if they were their own kin. A child pointed skyward.
Look! General Qi's thunderfire! Boom!
In their cheers and tears, Qi the Tiger became a name not of terror, but of hope. Shangfeng Ridge broke the last major Wokou force in the region. From that moment, the month-long campaign could finally be called complete. April to May, 1561, year 40 of the Zhejiang Emperor. In just 1 month, the eastern coast of Ming China was transformed, from ash and terror to fortress and flame, and at the center of it all stood Qi Jiguang and his Qi family army. Across 13 relentless engagements, they delivered victory after victory, never tasting defeat. At Ninghai, the Mandarin Duck formation made its battlefield debut, breaking the pirate vanguard without losing a single man. At Xinhe, Lady Wang, Qi's wife, defended an empty city with nothing but courage and cleverness, holding off the enemy long enough for a crushing ambush. At Huajie, the hungry tigers marched 110 li overnight, fought on empty stomachs in tight alleys, and slaughtered 344 enemies while losing only 3 of their own. At Shangfeng Ridge, they used pine branches, Franco cannons, and tiger squat guns to obliterate a final force of nearly 3,000 Wokou. No charge was wasted, no step taken without strategy, no man forgotten. In total, 5,500 enemy pirates annihilated, over 10,000 civilians rescued. Only 20 chief soldiers lost their lives, a ratio so staggering, even the imperial court could not stay silent. Grand Coordinator Hu Zongxian wrote urgently to the throne.
Qi Jiguang is incorruptible and just. His troops obey with order. Discipline is strict. Formations precise. Such miraculous achievement could be forged by no man but Qi Huajie himself.
He petitioned the court to promote Qi Jiguang to Deputy Regional Commander, granting him full command over the defenses of Taizhou, Jinhua, and Ningbo, with extended authority to coordinate neighboring coastal garrisons. The southern coastline had found its shield. But this was not the end. From this point forward, whenever pirates heard the name Qi, they turned back. They fled inland. They refused to land at Zhejiang again, because Qi the Tiger meant more than strength. It meant flawless tactics, like the ever-shifting Mandarin duck formation, unyielding fire from the roar of the Franco cannons. Nature turned to weapon, with pine branches hiding guns under the sun. Steel made from vengeance, forged from the enemy's own muskets. But above all, it meant a general who fought not for glory but for the safety of his people. A flame was lit in the southeast, and from it a monument was born, not of stone, but of blood, fire, and loyalty. We remember them now, the Qi family army and the people of Taizhou, who stood as one against the tide of terror. Honor to the heroes, glory to the people, and peace upon the waves.